Arranged by Mark Hayes. Oops, sorry. How can I keep from singing? Arranged by Mark Hayes.
Thank you so much for that beautiful start to our morning. Good morning, everyone. I am the Reverend Casey Marie Pandell. It is my honor and joy to be the minister here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether you're joining us here in our sanctuary or whether you're joining us online, you are whole, you are holy, you are loved, and you are so welcome here. For those of you that are regulars, you may notice our service looks a little bit different today. I am our worship associate, for starters. I would like to welcome you all here to our Sunday gathering at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We are thrilled that you have joined us here today, whether you are in the sanctuary or at home. Summit is a liberal religious community bound together by shared principles drawn from world religions, humanist teachings, nature, science, philosophy, and personal practices. We aspire to be a religion of love and inclusion, and the mission of our congregation is to commit ourselves to building a more compassionate, just, and sustainable world. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism or to Summit and you would like to know more about us, we invite you to go to our website at summituuf.org. A couple of quick announcements this morning. I would like to remind everyone, because it is not on our printout at the moment, the poetry group is the first Monday of the month. That means tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning next door in our library. So if you would like to come and play with words and explore your spirituality with some poetry in some really interesting ways, we invite you to come join Margot and our other poetry folks for exploring that together. Next week, we have two important things going on. Please, please, please come and join us for our annual flower communion. Please feel free to bring flowers from your garden or someone else's, or Trader Joe's if that's where you get them from. We would just like to have the opportunity to share flowers and fellowship together. And please stick around on Sunday after service for our congregational meeting. That's where we vote on the budget and the slate of candidates for next year. And if you would like to know more about how Unitarian Universalism works, because we are a democratic faith, that's a great time to come get an idea. And Ron, you are welcome to come up next, and then we will keep going.
Journey to the podium. I want to teach you a song really quickly. It's a very short song. It's based on something that I discovered on YouTube. Not the song, but the person that it's about. I'm an old guy, and I remember from childhood a TV show called Davy Crockett. How many of you remember Davy Crockett? Okay, I see. The king of what was it? King of the Wild Frontier. I want to give you a different name. Some of you have probably heard it. Jasmine Crockett, Queen of the Wild Frontier. Go to YouTube, look up Jasmine Crockett. I ran across a series of Jasmine Crockett videos, and they are AI. So I was like really curious about this, going AI. And they're very repetitive. I watched like 7, and the plot is always the same, but it's such a cool plot. You need to go to YouTube, Jasmine Crockett. And anyway, I want to encourage you, besides that, number 2 is Gizmos. I did that. I've done that before. Cosmos. Gizmo's Kitchen is. We have a box in back in the lobby. That's an old joke. Maybe someday I'll figure out what I should actually say. But I was very heartened to hear that we've had a lot of stuff in that box lately, and so I just want to. Good job.
Thank you so much, Ron. And we would like to acknowledge that our fellowship resides on the unceded land of the Kumeyaay people. The Kumeyaay have lived on this land for 10,000 years, and it is still their home today. We recognize the abusive history of colonization in California and are mindful of our duty to responsibly act from our position of privilege. And I would like to invite Mary Carter Vale, our Director of Religious Exploration, to light our chalice today. Our chalice lighting, you will find that there is no title because I forgot to put one in this morning. Our chalice lighting are words from Tracy Johnson entitled Beacon of Freedom. We kindle our chalice flame this morning, awakening the fire of our ancestors in our hearts. Beacon of freedom held out to light the way. Light of reason illuminating the path. Spark of courage inviting our spirits, aglow with the hope for all we endeavor to do together. Holy flames of time past, we brighten this present moment that we may be the love that is our center and our foundation both. Blessed be. And please rise in mind, body, or spirit for our congregational hymn, which you will see on the screens. And I would like to invite our Director of Music, Duncan Matthew. Duncan, can you tell us a little bit about today's service?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Duncan Matthew, and this is kind of the first time that I've been up here directly talking and leading a service through with you all, so it's an honor to be up here, and I'm so excited to be working with you all today and taking you on this musical journey that we're going to be going on. So today is what we call a hymn sing. We're going to be doing some hymns and taking apart some of the music from the hymnals and making it just a little bit more familiar and a little more known, and just kind of taking you through and expanding the range of music that we'll be able to do as a congregation together, so that it's not just the choir providing special music, and so that the congregation can also be a part of the music and singing in multiple parts and doing a bunch of intricate musical things. And one of my goals as the director of music is to not only recruit and work and build the choir, but it's also to build the musical literacy of the entire congregation as a whole. So the purpose of today is kind of introduce you to some new stuff, might be familiar to some of you, but to kind of just get it back into the woodworks of your voices. I'm a firm believer in music is community first and foremost, and that's what we do together when we come together and sing. We love to sing, but we're coming together for the community. It's kind of like, why do you come here every Sunday morning? You come for the community, you come for your own spiritual practices. But so for me, music is a spiritual practice, and I wanted to share some of that spirituality with you all. Maybe you can find a different way to interact with the music that we're singing in hymns, because I know me personally growing up, like, okay, we need to stand up and we need to sing this hymn. It sounds like a drone. Let's keep it moving, and then okay, it's done. I get to sit down finally, and I get to take my little nap next to my father. So I want to find ways to enrich you with the music and to make it so that it's something that's more enjoyable, a learning experience for you all as well. So does that sound fun? Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so today we're going to be starting with hymn 1009 in the blue hymnal, or teal hymnal, excuse me. It's called Meditation on Breathing, and I think it's familiar to some of y'all, but I wanted to take some time to take it apart and give you an opportunity to meditate once you feel like you have the music down. So starting off at the top of the page, you see the three staves. You have melody, descant, and drone. Congregation, I want you to focus right now on the melody, please. When I breathe in peace, when I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're sounding great already. At the bottom, you see with the bass clef, the third staff, you see where it says drone. If you would like to drone or sing the melody, you're more than welcome to. So why don't we, for the purposes of this sing through, this side of the congregation, why don't you sing the melody? This side, why don't you sing the drone? Capiche? Beautiful. Starting with the melody. 1, 2, 3. When I Good job. And that second line in the middle is what's called a descant. Does anybody here know what a descant is? Yes, what is it?
Something really high that kind of does little weird things to the other parts.
Basically, that is the music history textbook definition of a descant, yes.
Can you repeat that into the microphone?
Yes, yes, for the people at home. So a descant is something that's happening above all of the other choral singing parts, and it does something weird. It does something funky. Oftentimes, when you hear descant, you think of like the choir singing something, and there's some soprano that's like wailing on a high note or something like that. That's typically what a descant is. So there's this little descant that's interwoven in between the drone and the melody. If I could ask the Summit Choir to give us a example of what this descant sounds like. They're going to sing it here for us. When I breathe. Let's do it one more time. One. So I think, did I say this side of the congregation did the melody earlier? This side of the congregation, why don't you do the melody? This side of the congregation do the drone, and we'll do this. We'll do I'm getting ahead of myself. Congregation, you're going to do the melody and the drone one time through, and then on the repeat, the choir's going to come in with the descant.
Duncan, I just heard someone in the audience say, "What is the drone?"
Oh, the drone at the bottom, where you see the third line where it's just people singing breathe in, breathe out. So a drone is something that is the same pitch, that's just happening over and over again at the same rhythm. So the breathe in, breathe out, it's the same thing over and over and over again. And it kind of just provides a nice foundation for the entirety of the music. Did that answer your question? Amazing. Great. Alrighty. So, melody, drone, one time through. Descant's going to come in the second time through, and then we'll do it one more time as a third time altogether. Beautiful. Alrighty. Starting with the melody and the drone. 1 and 2 and 3. When I breathe, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe, pretty harmless, right? Beautiful. Alrighty, great. Thanks for going along with me on that today. I'll be back up here later, don't worry.
Yes, that's my new table. Thank you, Duncan. That's a lot of fun. And so we're going to do that a few times today. You'll also notice there's a section of or you may notice there's a section of your order of service that says hymn exploration. Depending on time, we might take a couple of audience suggestions for a hymn to learn. Otherwise, we'll be taking notes on what you would like to learn, so we could do this again over the summer as well. Our joys and concerns portion of our service give us the opportunity to hold the things that are too big to hold alone, whether they are the heavy things that lay on your heart or the celebrations that are worth sharing together. We hold these moments and these spaces together. Anytime you have a joy or concern, you are welcome to email them or text them to myself or Stacy Sasaki, who is our worship chair. If ever there is a time neither of us are here, I will let you know who to send that to. Joey would like to share a concern for all of those affected by the Henderson fire and says a big thank you to CAL FIRE for all of their swift work. Jenny shares a concern to remember daily the people of Palestine. And you may have heard by now, Friday evening, there was an ICE raid in South Park. I would like to remind everyone that we stand with South Park, and that sort of behavior has no place in our neighborhoods. Whether our concerns and our joys are shared aloud in this space, there is always the opportunity for folks to light a candle of joy or concern And we know from the numerous candles we have lit this morning that not all joys and concerns are shared aloud this morning. Whether spoken or unspoken, we hold you in our hearts. And I would like to invite our Director of Religious Exploration for a little bit of a conversation with Duncan.
I would like to invite our kids up because I need some help with this conversation. This is for you to use. So come on up, guys. We get to grill Duncan. No, gently. So you guys know that I'm the Director of Religious Exploration, right? Duncan's the Director of Music. What does that mean, Duncan?
Yeah, so everything that I do here at Summit is to enhance the music at Summit, whether that's through the choir or through the hymns that we sing together. I feel like I should sit down. I feel left out.
Oh,
No, it's okay. So my job here at Summit is to make sure that while everyone is exploring their spirituality, they're also exploring music and how that interacts with their life and how that interacts with their day-to-day practices.
yeah, because music can be very spiritual. Yeah.
Extremely.
You guys have any questions you want to ask? No, going to be shy? Okay, that's okay. And Doug, you can go ask Duncan questions anytime.
Always,
So,
always.
Duncan, what's your favorite kind of music? Is there something you really love?
Ooh, my favorite kind of music.
That's a tough question. I know.
That's really, really hard.
How about at the moment?
My Spotify number one for the past 6 years has been Beyonce.
Yes, that's awesome. Let me think. What else? We don't. Sometimes the kids haven't seen you after the service. And where do you go?
Well, so after the services on Sundays so I have 4 jobs currently right now.
4 jobs. Can you imagine?
Yes. So I'm working here at Summit as the director of music. I am the operations coordinator for the San Diego Master Chorale, and I sing professionally for them as well. And then I teach choir and music theory and voice lessons at California State University, San Marcos. And because I felt like I didn't have enough time on my hands, or I had too much time on my hands, I also moonlight at Trader Joe's. So Sundays are a particular busy day for Trader Joe's, and
Yeah,
so
I know.
I have to jet out there because I work every Sunday at noon. So that's why I'm jetting out of here.
It's
every
not this Trader Joe's that we just
No,
opened.
it's the one down in Hillcrest. Yes, and
Takes a
that's
while.
where that's the neighborhood that I currently live in, and so it was the closest at the time.
Do you guys have any ideas yet? No.
What's some music that you guys like to listen to?
Oh, Casey has one too.
Okay, that's an important question.
Yeah. What kind of music do you guys like? Favorite singer? Favorite song? You can tell me. Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's okay. Still a favorite. What do you think, Izzy? What was it? Alan Walker.
Ally Walker, yes, I love Ally Walker, and Taylor Swift is also great.
You have anyone, Ashling, that you enjoy listening to? Oh, Imagine Dragons. Another good one.
Dragons,
I like Chapel Roan. That was the top of my
yes.
playlist last year.
Chapel Roan is amazing.
And Reverend Casey had a question.
What type of music is your favorite to teach?
Can you repeat that? I'll repeat that question so we can, folks at home can hear. What kind of music is your favorite to teach?
All.
All. Did you hear that? All music.
One of the things that's great about music is that so long as the composer is a representative of the culture that the music is representing, it's like it's a little history book. So you're able to it gives you it's a mode of transportation in which for you to think, okay, here's this language. How do I go through and how do I like accurately pronounce these words so that it doesn't sound like inauthentic, and like what is the history behind this piece? Why was this piece composed? Like a piece recently that I worked with my choir at Cal State San Marcos. It was I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but it was a whole history on a piece of a hurricane that happened in Puerto Rico, and so it just provides modes of conversation in which for you to talk with your students or talk with the people that you're singing with to learn about a culture, so long as it's from an authentic source, and it So yeah, all music. Like I love getting a piece of music that is completely foreign to me and making sure that I'm 100% literate in it, and the history on it, and have access to those resources to make sure that I'm doing the music the service that it deserves to be taught. So any music, any piece of music that a student wants to do, or any piece of music that gets taught or tossed in front of me, I love to teach it.
I have another question. You have to have some special skills to sing. Singing seems kind of scary.
Everybody can sing. Everybody can sing, no matter what. Like I know that there are some people who think, oh yeah, everybody can sing, but I can't sing well. Everybody can sing well with enough like practice and enough guidance. And whoever has been told that they can't sing like that, the person who said that to them was not kind. So.
I would agree, that's not kind. Let me think if there's any other questions. Anybody else have a question for Duncan?
Can you tell us about your music education?
My music education, oh my goodness, yes. So I have a bachelor's of music in vocal performance from a small school up in Minnesota called Gustavus Adolphus. If you say that, I'll say Gesundheit. And so that was where I got my bachelor's, and then I also got a certification for vocal pedagogy through that school as well. Also I have from that is also an education degree for teaching music as well. And then I have a master's degree in choral conducting from Florida State University. And so that's conducting. It's what you see me doing, like as I'm like waving my arms, and like rehearsal techniques, and like how to get the best sound out of your choirs and or your singers. And it's the way that I like to describe it is that I have 3 degrees in counting to 4 in fancy ways, and so that's pretty much it. But I've been singing since I was a really, really young kid, and just loved it enough to keep going in, and kept through with the process. We'll see if I make the jump into getting my doctorate, but I have not. I've not decided on that yet.
And I'll break the ice for you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, I'm from northeastern Minnesota. Are you from southwestern Minnesota, where the States is?
So I grew up in Colorado, actually. I grew up in Colorado, and when in high school, I got the choir bug and loved choir so much. And my teacher said, well, if you love choir, your best bets for your undergraduate degree are Minnesota or Texas. And I don't like the heat, so I went to Minnesota.
And now you're in San Diego.
What's that?
The choirs at Gustavus are excellent.
Yes, it's a phenomenal all the choirs in like the upper Midwest. It's an interesting part of the country, but like Minnesota, Wisconsin, like Iowa, Indiana, Nebraska, some of the best music programs in the entire country. Like I don't know what it is about that pocket of the country, but it's the corn or something. I don't know.
Maybe you got to sing to stay warm.
Yeah.
I think Karen has a question.
My dad taught at Augsburg College.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's also St. Olaf. So those 3 colleges also have these incredible vocal. Somebody said it was, the Scandinavian influence.
Mm-hmm.
Scandinavian influence, yeah.
Scandinavian influence, that there was a lot of music.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we have time for one more question. Aisling.
Why did you choose to do music here?
Oh, Aisling asked, why did you choose to do music here?
Yeah.
Great question.
I love that question. It's great. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and so the reason what brought me out to San Diego is that my partner, he just finished his first year as the brand new professor of choral music education at San Diego State. We met at Florida State in grad school together. I was getting my master's and he got his PhD. So he got this job at SDSU, and he's originally from Chino up north in LA. And so he really wanted to get back to California, and I wanted to be back out west. And so we came out here, and at the time, all I had was Trader Joe's. San Marcos was becoming a thing slowly but surely. But I was just like, I'm just gonna look up look for some other music jobs that are in the area, and this job popped up on Indeed. And I applied, and I got to have a lovely Zoom chat with Laurel and Stacy, and we chit-chatted, and it just felt like a really good fit. Unitarian Universalism Unitarian Universalism was not something that I had heard of or was familiar with, because growing up, like, my family was religious-ish, but I had always known that I identified more as like agnostic, and was exploring a little bit of that in undergrad, but didn't really have the avenues to do so. So once I learned what this was about, I was kind of like, oh, how funny. So it just, yeah, everything just kind of fell into place, and it just felt like it was meant to be.
Excellent question. Thank you, Ashley. All right, we're going to head back. We're going to be making some Pride streamers and talking a little bit about Pride, because yesterday, I have a video too, if anybody wants to see it, of the Pride parade through downtown Santee.
Yes.
I drove by it 3 times with Brenda McGinnis leaning out the window filming everybody. So, so we'll get to see that back in RE. If anybody wants to see that, I just want to let you know. So if you want to come tag me afterwards, I can show it to you. So, all right, we're going to sing our little song as
Thanks
we
for
go
hanging
off.
with
Thank you so much, Duncan.
Yes,
Really
thank
appreciate
you.
getting to know you a little bit better.
Alrighty, so before the choir is going to perform some special music, I just had a couple of announcements and things I wanted to put on everybody's radar. So this is going to be the choir's last Sunday performing before their little summer vacation. So I hope you enjoyed the piece that we selected out. It's a fun little. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just fun. It's fun. It's fast. It's about hope. It's an Emily Dickinson poem, and so I think it's a nice send off into the little summer hiatus that the choir has earned after all their hard work this past year, which I'm very grateful for. But I did wanted to bring to your attention that the choir normally rehearses Wednesday evenings. Once the choir comes back in August, we're going to be making a little bit of a change and trying something different. The choir is going to start rehearsing Sunday mornings before services every single week. So we're going to take out Wednesday evenings entirely. Some people have reached out to me and also approached me in person saying that they would love to sing, but Wednesday nights is a conflict, like after work and traffic, and driving at night is also a little bit sketchy at times as well. So having these rehearsals on a Sunday morning, it takes away nighttime and it takes away the need to have an extra trip in the middle of your week to come out and sing. So we're going to give it a shot trying to rehearse on Sunday mornings. So if you are interested in singing in the choir, for that, that'll be another opportunity for you just to make it a little bit more accessible for the folks in the congregation to come and sing. So I just wanted to put that on your radar. And like Casey said, over the summer, we're going to be doing another hymn sing and doing some more musical exploration. And I'm looking to organize some like music workshops and individualized workshops to help with like, direct like singing and just like teaching you like, here's what this means and here's what this. Yes. Sunday mornings, it's not solidified just yet. So the service starts at 10. Right now, what I'm toying around with is if the choir is not singing, we'll meet at 9. If the choir is singing, we'll meet at probably 8:40 is when we'll start rehearsal. So it's a little early, but we figured that was the best time to give it a shot to see how that works best for y'all, because we want to make music and choir as accessible to everybody as possible. So any other questions about that?
Well, once you start this, is there a possibility, like prior to COVID, that the choir sang every Sunday? Is there a possibility that you may tell the road sing every Sunday?
I'm open to it. Absolutely, I'm open to it. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, without further ado, this is the Summit Choir's final performance of the 24-25 year. Yeah, whatever.
Numbers are hard, don't you?
So today, our focus is a lot on music. And Duncan and I had a conversation earlier this week about what's your through line with all of your music this week? And he said, well, it's got a little bit to do with a lot of different things, but I know freedom is our new, is the new subject for this month. So that's a good starting point. And as I was looking at all the music yesterday, I could see more than just freedom. I could see this through line of love in everything that he picked. And so I've started the pre-work for my doctoral program, and God, I've forgotten how much reading there is to do for higher education. And one of the books I'm reading is called Anger, Your Spiritual Ally. And I've spent the first, I know, it's about a 20-year-old book, but I spent the first third of the book thinking, can you tell me something I don't know? Because so far the book has pretty much said, this is what anger is. This is what anger means. Yes, Christians are allowed to be angry, which, by the way, the program is at a Christian school, so there's going to be a lot of that sort of bent in my reading. But I read something last night that kind of spoke to this idea of freedom and love, and it was the idea that anger, when used the right way, can be love. Now, I want to be really specific. I don't mean abusive. I don't mean a consistent anger that doesn't get dealt with. What the author, Andrew Lester, is speaking about from a biblical sense is the idea that anger can be the catalyst to help us live our love. And as I'm thinking about the Pride Walk from yesterday, where someone drove by us and at one point yelled out his door, "You need to go to church," with an expletive in there. I hate to tell you, buddy, we are the church. There were probably 6 or 7 clergy there, and most of the people there attend various churches in Santee. And as I was thinking about him saying that, and I watched the response from everyone walking, who smiled and cheered and waved and said, "Have a good day," even if maybe a little pointed. What I saw was, instead of the anger he had, I saw them using their anger for love. And then I'm thinking about this raid that happened at the Italian restaurant in South Park. If you haven't heard what happened, they waited until 5 p.m. and about 30 agents showed up to try to get some of the folks that worked at the restaurant out of the way. San Diego's response was powerful. They stood in front of their vehicles and said, "No, we will not let you take these people without a fight." That righteous anger that we should be having to protect people was on full display in San Diego. There's videos, KPBS posted one yesterday that was really wonderful. They deployed flash grenades at these people. These are families who were just waiting to sit to have dinner. And people said, no, you will not do this to our neighbors. So that's what I'm thinking about a lot this week, as I'm thinking about what freedom actually means. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about freedom and how the Flower Communion has a history towards fighting fascism, which sounds like a really tall order, but we'll get there. In 2 weeks, although it will be a recorded sermon, because I'll be in Cambridge by then, I'm going to talk about who is free and who gets to be free and who decides we get to be free. Towards the end of the month, I'm going to talk about what it means to be a free faith. But the heart of all of this, the center of our faith community as Unitarian Universalists, is love. Everything we do is with love. And I think sometimes it's really easy for us to forget that it's not wooey, sort of off in the ether, oh, we love everyone. Sometimes, I think more often than not, our love is rooted in the actions that we portray as Unitarian Universalists. And to see that on display in San Diego was so important because it's a reminder that this is not stopping anytime soon. If they showed up on Friday in South Park, they can show up here any day too. And I don't say that to scare anyone. I say that to remind us that when the rubber hits the road, our job is to use our love and that righteous anger towards the freedom for everyone. Not just those of us who aren't going to be swept up in one of those raids. And now, back to the music. Actually, it's the offertory next. So your Sunday morning offering is a gift that provides Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship the financial resources to help build a better, more free world together. The smallest gift is not only welcome, but graciously and gratefully received. For those of you online, our link can be found in the chat box on Zoom, and there's also one on our website. Please select the Sunday Plate option to allocate your donation to the appropriate account.
Offertory, I will play the Song Without Words, Opus 19, number 1 by Felix Mendelssohn. Many of these, kind of based on Lieder, like the idea of a song that could be sung, it actually is very singable, but it's just without words, so you can put in your own words.
Alrighty, so now we're going to do another little hymn exploration with hymn number 1043. It's called Zekli Aldas. It's a Transylvanian hymn. And what was it today that you told me that about the history of this? I picked this because Karen introduced it to me last week, and I thought it was so beautiful that I wanted to include it. But Casey told me that there was like a little piece of trivia.
Oh yeah, we have a huge history with Transylvanian Unitarianism. There are some. Can I get my mic? So you don't have to repeat everything.
No.
Or the hand mic. Is it over there? Yes, we have a history with the Transylvanian Unitarians. You might not know that. I'm seeing Joanne shake her head and Debbie too. Yeah, thank you, because I've got like notes everywhere to help you do your stuff in a bit. Yeah, we have a really, really long history with the Transylvanian Unitarians. It's actually part of our ancestry. Some of where Unitarianism comes from Transylvania. So that might not have been something that most folks know, but we have really deep roots in Transylvania. There are some sister congregations there. So if you want to travel to Transylvania and go hang out with the Transylvanian Unitarians, I hear they are very lovely, very welcoming, and like having people for dinner. That sounds like a really bad vampire joke. That was not my point. It's been a long year.
All right, so we're going to, everyone in the congregation for right now, for today's purposes, I'll have you sing part number 2, which is the English, and we're going to have the choir sing the Transylvanian language in part 1, but why don't we take some time to take apart part number 2 with the English here. So let's sing it through just a few times to get it comfortable and warm in your voices. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need. Let's do it one more time. 1 and 2. There is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need. Nice. So if you look at the bottom of this page, the choir is going to be singing the foreign language here. If there's a little pronunciation guide that pretty accurately gives you a phonetic spelling of how the Transylvanian words are supposed to sound. So the choir is going to sing this for you to hear for yourselves. Feel free to sing along if you would like and you want to take a stab at the foreign language. But if not, you can also sing it on do 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 or la 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 la, whatever your preferred syllable is there. But why don't we go ahead? We can listen to the choir sing, and if you want to hum or sing along with them, please feel free to do so. But here is the part number 1. 1 and 2 and 3. Success. Aren't both of those lines like really pretty? Like independently apart, like they're really, really pretty, but they go really nicely together. Let's try and put everything together. I'll ask the congregation to sing part number 2, which is the English, but if you're feeling spiritually moved to sing the Transylvanian, I will not stop you. And the choir will enter in first with the Transylvanian, and then the congregation will come in. Alrighty, from the beginning, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. That? It's fun. It's really pretty and it's fun to sing. One more time. One more time. One more time. One more time. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need. Ooh, sweet. So we were going to have some time to do a little bit of what we were calling a hymn exploration, where if there was a hymn that someone in the congregation was really wanting to sing or wanting to do today, we would have a chance to sing it, or if there was one that you wanted taught to, we would have a chance to do it today. But we're nearing the end of our time here, so we'll take a second to just take, I guess, a couple of suggestions, if anybody has a couple of suggestions of music that they would like to hear more, or hymns that they would like to hear more, or hymns that you've never seen that you would love to do. If any are coming to your mind, if kind of putting you on the spot right now. So if there's none that come to your mind right now, you can always send a message to me or Casey and get a hold of us. Yes?
Busca el amor, 1,004.
1,000 what?
10:04.
10:04. Awesome. All right, we got Busca el Amor. Anything else that is burnt?
Gospel style.
A gospel style, yes, absolutely.
I know we've got at least one in the hymnal.
We've got a few in both hymnals that are gospel style. 1027. Let's.
Laura's gonna get us some new music. We can sing Transylvanian. We can sing Spanish.
Yes.
How about a reggae style?
A reggae style, yes. We can.
1074, turn the world around.
1074.
That's 1074?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a point of noticing that all of these suggestions are coming out of the
I gotta
Yes.
get my extra book out there.
Alrighty. Well, as always, you can always shoot Casey or I a message, or you can pull me aside after one of our services and make a suggestion. Always, like I'm always open to feedback and hearing what y'all want to sing and what you want to do. And I'm excited that you all are so receptive to being pushed and to being challenged. It's very refreshing to be working with a congregation that is like that. And I don't think it would be a proper hymn sing or musical service here at Summit if we didn't end it with Blue Boat Home. So why don't we have a stand and do 1064 Blue Boat Home. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land
Thank you for going on that journey with us today. Duncan and I were not sure what it was going to look like. We had an idea in our head and it kind of did what we thought, but it sort of took on a life of its own, which is kind of what some of the fun of music is, kind of what some of the fun of being in a community like this is. We never quite know what we're going to get, but we are always willing to go on that journey together. As we look ahead towards this month and what freedom means, that's part of the beauty of music. Even though there is music to follow, notes on a page, sometimes there's a little space for some magic to happen and the freedom to see where that magic takes us. When we come together in communities like this, we get to see a glimpse of the divine in that really special way. So I'm really glad we could bring some more music to you today. I suspect the next time we do this, there will be a lot more music learning and a lot less talking. At least I think that's my hope anyway. Would you mind extinguishing the chalice for me? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Amen, shalom, salam, ashe, namaste, and blessed be. There will be no community gathering after service today. Unfortunately, Duncan does have to go to Trader Joe's, and he was going to lead it. Oh, it's Master Corral, so even, yikes.
Concert in San Diego. If you have nothing going on this afternoon, it's fun.
Concert in San Diego. So we're going to skip the circle gathering today and go straight over to the salon. But we are going to sing our closing circle song. So please rise and circle up, and we will sing that last song together today.